Hello, my name is Vasiat and I'm your tutor for today. Today's class is all about yogurt making. What do you understand by yogurt? Yogurt is a food that is made from fermentation of milk. The bacteria that ferments the milk is called yogurt culture. What does this yogurt do? It actually ferments the sugar in the milk to give it lactic acid. Then this lactic acid in turn ferments the milk protein to give it the sweet texture that we get from yogurt. What are the ingredients needed for this yogurt production? We have our powdered milk, we have water, I have my yogurt culture. This is yogurt, it's an unsweetened yogurt. So how did I get this yogurt? So what I did was, initially, they actually yogurt cultures in stores, but might not be readily available for you. So the best thing I can advise that you do is to get a store yogurt. You can buy the unsweetened one. Check the ingredients if it has live culture written on it. If it has live culture on it, perfect, you can get it. So when I was about to make my first batch of yogurt, that was what I did. I bought yogurt from the store and I used it to make mine. So subsequently, I started using my own yogurt to set as my life culture. So you can also make life culture. There are processes to doing life culture, but I feel like it might just be a difficult process for you or a long process. So this is like an easy way or easy step to going through this yogurt. So I have my whisks, I have my measuring spoon, my measuring cup, and a bowl. This bowl is what I'm going to use to set my yogurt aside. And I have a pot, of course, to boil the milk. And I have my gas cooker here. And here's my cling film that I'm going to use to wrap my yogurt. So let's proceed with our yogurt make. So the first thing I'm going to do is to measure my milk in my water. So the recipe that I use for making my yogurt is I use 2 cups of water. So I already measured 2 cups of water in this bowl, and here is 1 cup of milk because I like it to be very, very creamy. That's why I use it like this. So I'm going to pour my water into my pot. Then I'm going to boil it. Then I'm going to place my cup of water and allow it to boil a bit. Not really, because I don't want to pour my milk into the water immediately. I want to add warm water into this milk so that it's actually easy for it to boil. So while I'm waiting for my water to boil or to be warm, let's measure the milk. So I'm using 1/4 cup. So I'm going to be measuring 4 of it, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1 cup of milk, and I think the water is already hot. The water is already warm. So I'm just going to stir my milk in the water. I'm still leaving that water on fire to make it easy for the boiling of my milk. Just mix. I already mixed my warm water with the milk before transferring it into the boiling water or the hot water on the gas. So I'm going to transfer it now. Then I'm going to be using my whisks to whisk it up. So I'm already stirring my milk in the boiling water. It's not yet boiling though, it's just hot. So what I'm going to do now is to stir till I just see a soft boil on the milk. Then I bring it down. You can hold on a bit and just watch it. The gas has to be low. You don't want your milk burning. I hope you can actually see how this thing is going. So you can see soft specks around it. but I'm still waiting for it to boil a little. So with constant stirring, this is like 2 minutes after, I'm going to be bringing my milk down now. Because this pot is a cast pot, I don't want to leave my milk there. It's still going to be very hot, but I need the milk to come to like a warm temperature, not too hot and not too cold. So I'll transfer it into my other bowl. Then I can wait for like, let's say 10 minutes till maybe I'm able to dip my finger before I can actually move to the next step. So now we're going to wait for about 10 minutes for our milk, our boiled milk, to come to a particular temperature that we need it to. So while we're waiting for the milk to come to the temperature that we want, the reason why we're doing this is because it's very hot now. The moment we put this yogurt into it, the hotness of the milk can actually kill the bacteria, and we don't want that to happen. So we'll just wait for it to go down. Then I'll see you in 10 minutes. Our 10 minutes break. The thing is, it's not necessarily you wait for 10 minutes. It depends. It can be more than 10 minutes, it can be less than 10 minutes. So if you do not have thermometer in your maybe kitchen, another thing that you can do is you can just dip your little finger into the milk. The moment you can leave it for 3-4 minutes and it's not burning your finger, then that's perfect. Like, it's ready to go. So I'll just clean my hand. Then you notice that it has a little bit of coat on it. What you just do is you can just swap that away and take it off. It's very easy to take off. Then we have our milk, right? Now I'm going to measure it can be 3 to 4 tablespoons, but I'm going to be using 3 tablespoons of my yogurt, or should I say yogurt culture. Then I'm going to take part of this boiled milk. So the other time I said when you want to dip your hand for like 3 to 4 minutes, it's not minutes, it's seconds. That was a mistake. So it's 3 to 4 seconds, can even be 5 seconds, so as you know that it's just warm, not too cold, not too hot. Then you stir it. So I don't want to introduce my yogurt into my milk immediately. That's why I had to put a little bit of the milk into the yogurt. Then I stir evenly before transferring it into the other mixture. Can you see that it is getting even now? So see, then I transfer into this mixture gently and I stir till it is even. So the next thing I'll do is to use a plastic wrap or a cling film to cover my milk. So it's already properly covered. Then I take it to you can put it in an oven, cooler, but I have a warm cupboard. So I have a warm cupboard. I'll just put it in my warm cupboard. So let's go and put it in the warm cupboard. Okay, so we are already at the warm cupboard, and I just placed the yogurt in the warm cupboard. I'm just going to be using the fabric to cover it. You can actually use napkins, towels to cover your yogurt. I'm just going to use this black fabric that I have. So I'm going to cover it properly. You can add as many clothes that you have to it. So you're going to be doing this for 6 to 8 hours. So after that, we'll go to the next step. But for now, let's leave it for 6 to 8 hours. See you in 6 to 8 hours. Bye. So this is after 8 hours. I'm back to my warm cupboard. Apparently we don't have any light, but because the cupboard has been quite warm, it's still fine. So I'm just going to take it to the table. There will still one next to do to it. So I'm just going to, can you see that it's so thick? So the next phase I'm going to do to this yogurt is to freeze it for about 6 hours. At times I freeze it for 4 hours. You can actually put it in the fridge. It's even best in the fridge for a longer period, but I use the basket of my freezer for it. So I'm just going to put it in my freezer for about 4 to 6 hours. Then I'll show you the next step after that. Welcome back to our yogurt making class or yogurt preparation. You know, earlier on I told you guys that I was going to put my yogurt in the freezer, in the basket of my freezer. So I have done that for about 6 hours now. So it is time to unveil my yogurt. Then I'll show you guys the next thing to do to it. So let's watch it together. Can you see how the yogurt is looking? Like it's so nice. Let me just scoop out a bit so that you see. Like it's really thick, like a cord. Like it's so thick. So at this point I'm just going to use my whisk. It's the whisk of my whisk mixer to whisk it up. Then we'll see what we get from there. Yeah, so we have, like, can you see it? Like, can you feel the yogurt? Just look at it. It still has few lumps, so I'm just going to still use my whisk to whisk it till it's properly blended. So it is unsweetened like this. So at this point I'm just going to refrigerate it until I am ready to consume it. And I can always set aside, like that yogurt that you saw, it was after making this that I took a little bit out of it. Like I took a batch out to make my next batch of yogurt. Then I added my flavor, sugar and color if it warrants that to this particular one. And unsweetened yogurt are quite healthy. It's so yummy, like really yummy. So we're going to make granola in the next class, and in the third module we're going to be making fruit parfait. See you in the next module. Bye.